Hey, good morning. I'm down in the studio this morning, got my cup of coffee, and I thought that today I would show you guys how I organize my music library. Look, I've got all this music here on the floor, and I've got another file cabinet downstairs in the basement. I have a piano bench here that's stuffed full of music. I've got music laying around everywhere. And I think it's important to organize your life so you can see what you have for music. Music is part of the fun of being a musician. Collecting music is something that I've always enjoyed doing, but organizing it has always been a problem. So I've come up with this idea of how to organize music that I want to share with you guys. I have these music boxes from Valiant Music Supply, and they come in different sizes, and this is the largest box they have. It is it can hold 5 inches of music, has a little dust cover lid, and a little pull tab here on the front, so that when you put them multiples up on your shelf or on your dresser or on top of your piano or wherever you want to keep these, you can pull them out relatively easily, and you can write on the front if you want to put a little sticker of what's in it. But I'm guessing that all you need is one of these to start with. How you use it is another part of the art of collecting music, the fun of collecting music. Now, you know, there's so much music, but when I look at my music down here on the floor, when I spread it out in front of me, I see that there are some commonalities across all this music. One, music from the same publisher. You know, it looks the same on the front cover, and colors are different, but their style is the same, and that's part of the fun of getting to know these publishers. This is international music. Here is another part of the fun of collecting music are the covers. Some of them are pretty artistic with what's on the front cover. This one's from Masters Music Publication. It's a Tchaikovsky bass solo that I've found on the catalog one day, and I thought, oh, I might like to play that, so I bought it. And I haven't played it yet, but here it is. And here's a Mozart duet for string, bass, and violin. And I haven't played this one either, but I bought it a few weeks ago. So, you know, solo music typically is decorated like this. Here is a collection of bass solos. Has a nice cover. Here's another collection of bass solos. This one's from Oscar Zimmerman, and this one's from Bärenreiter Sassman House. Scales. Scale books. I have a few. I've got a bunch of scale references, but here in front of me I've got, you know, the Flesch scale system, which is really, really popular. If you absolutely have to have one scale reference, this would be it. And then I've tried other books. This one's from Latham. And then you have method books. And the one method book that I have here on my floor that you'll recognize, many of you, is from Suzuki. But you could have any number of method books, you know, like from Vance, the Progressive Repertoire, or Samandel. Okay, so that's then the other classification of music are etudes, and you know, I've got a lot of etude books, and this is just some of my etude collection. And you'll recognize some of these. This is Finn Dyson. This is Samandel. This is Belay. And this is John Patitucci's melodic etudes for that are modal, that are kind of nice. And you know, you're going to, over the years, you're going to collect, you're going to want to have a lot to pick from as far as etudes go, because they all target different areas of skill building, and you'll want to, for example, like lyrical or technical skills. The Lee etudes are really good for lyrical. I don't have that here in front of me. The Finn Dyson, these are crazy technical, and to get an idea of what that might look like, you can kind of see there's a lot of ink here. But you're going to have a lot of these etude books in your collection over the years. Now, how do you put all this stuff together? Well, you can just kind of, you know, throw it around your room and hope you can find it when you want it, or put it in this box. And here's what I like to do with my box. I like to take scales and put them in the front by alphabetic in each category. So there's multiple categories: scales, etudes, your method book, your solo material, and then orchestral material, and then jazz if you have any jazz material. Okay, so those are the broad categories. So here you go. I take your scale book, put it in the front. This is my order from left to right in my box. Okay, then I want my etudes. And I have Finn Dyson, I have Belay, that's first, B. Finn Dyson's next, Simandl, Elemental, PQRS, and Patitucci, and then Simandl. Okay, so then I'll put those next. Okay, and then your next category is your bass method. And in this case, I've got just this one little Suzuki book. Okay. And then your next category that'll go in your box are your solo pieces. And what I like to do is put them also in alphabetical order. This is Mozart, this is Tchaikovsky, and Vivaldi. Okay, so I'll put them here next. And then after that, I like to put my collections, my solo collections. So here's Bärenreiter and Zimmerman. Okay? And then what's left is any jazz material that you have. Like, for example, here's Rufus Reed's The Evolving Bassist. And then I have some Jamie Aebersold material. This is a popular material. There's multiple volumes of the Aebersold. And then this, the Sorensen Jazz Combo Series. Just put those in your box. Okay, so look, I'm almost cleaned up on the floor, and I'm going to have a drink of coffee. Now what's left? I have my, my practice planner, where I keep my practice goals, and I track, you know, my practice sessions, so I can see not only how much time I'm putting in per day, but what am I working on those days, and my metronome markings for scales and etudes and solo material. All this stuff you can record in a detailed practice planner such as this. I highly recommend this. So I put this up front. Okay. Then there's one more thing that I notice a lot of you all have in your folders. You have a lot of orchestra music that needs to go back to your teacher, and your folders are choked and jammed full of this old music that you're not playing anymore. So what I would recommend is in your music box, where's my manila folder? Here we go. In your music box, take a manila folder and write outbox or miscellaneous or to do or something, or return, and put all that music that you've had from your year or even last year's music. You probably have some of that stuff. Put it in this folder, put it in the back of your box, and then when you get a chance, when you're going to have your meeting with your teacher, just grab this out and say, here, look, I'm sorry, here's all the music from last year that I kept in my folder. Okay? Now, speaking of folders, so there's the music box. Oh, and then also, last thing you might want to keep in your music box is your portfolio. So you want to start yet another manila folder and keep things in it like program folders for concerts and recitals that you've played in this year. And just as an example, I have last year's program from our studio recital and our 2014 studio annual report that tells you, reminds you and your parents what you've done this year. Okay, so you put that in your portfolio and keep all that here in your music box. Put the cover on it, keeps the dust out. All right. Now, folders. You guys have to keep separate folders for your private music lessons with me. Okay, I don't want to see it commingling. I don't want to see our material commingling with your school orchestra material, unless you need to bring a specific piece to lessons so we can look at it. Okay, other than that, keep that folder separate. Keep your orchestra folder separate from your lessons folder. Okay, you're going to have a couple of folders. You're going to have your private music folder. Okay, you are going to have your school folder, your school orchestra folder. Okay, it might have orchestra music and jazz if you guys are doing both jazz and orchestra. Okay, but you're going to have that and keep that separate. Then, if you are in a private orchestra, a youth orchestra, you're going to have music for that. And they should give you a separate folder to keep your orchestra music for that in separate. Keep all this separate, okay? Now, if you like folders, here's an example of a leather-bound folder. You can keep a lot of music in a folder like this. It has these deep pockets. Oh, look, there's a pencil down here. So, I can stuff these two books in here. And maybe your E2 book might go in here. And something like this would be really good for you to bring to lessons every week. Okay, because it's going to keep your expensive music from getting all bent up. Okay, so I like little folders like this. All right, so that's it. I hope that helps you guys get organized. I expect to see a little more organization in your music, at least in your folders, from week to week. And tell me how your music collection at home is shaping up. I have a couple of these boxes. Here's an empty one. If you'd like, let me know. And you can have this box for $15. Okay? Till next time, see you later.